He's a very young player, but he's established now as one of the best servicemen in this league.
In fact, on set pieces, you think that there's Beckham and then maybe this guy.
I think he's almost in Beckham's league. Yes, he doesn't have the long-standing pedigree that David Beckham has. San Jose has a couple of guys who I think Empire Pataklon could be at some point down the road. Very high-quality serviceman.
Davis has 2 career goals against San Jose. Off the set piece for Houston in orange. Davis, he sends that one very far and wide.
Oh, wow. The build-up, and that's what we get. Yeah, he's not very happy.
No. Having a good year, despite what you just saw. Having a year like Bobby Convey had a year ago. Giving his teammates quality chances, but he's got a couple of good targets up front in Weaver and Bruin. As Ramiro Corrales slips and falls, and so does Danny Cruz. And Cruz, we'll see how long he can go today. He is coming back from a knee injury that he had. He missed 7 games with a bone bruise to the right knee.
You know, Ramiro always comes out with 2 sets of cleats when he comes out to run around in the pregame. And don't know if he used his long cleats to start out, but I think there will be some folks who are changing their cleats before this one's over.
And we've seen that earlier this year in games here at Buckshot. I think it was Robbie Rogers who had to change some cleats in a match earlier this year, and he's a speed demon. And so on a very wet surface, and you'll see some crazy hops, and now it's Bruin getting physical in the 18, sends it to the middle, and a good job by Hernandez to send it out in a corner coming for the Dynamo.
Well, you have a wet field and a long pass, and a couple of guys who are accustomed to grabbing those balls out of the air, Bruin and Weaver. And it was Bobby Burling who helped get it back to Jason Hernandez, who then cleared it away. But here's your Davis corner kick.
And they've got big targets. Will Bruin, Cam Weaver, 162, 164. Go far post, and Lenhart came all the way back from a forward spot to send it out, and then a secondary chance hits the roof.
Well, if I did my math correctly, there are about 7 players in this starting lineup who are at least 6 foot tall. A couple of them in the 6'4" range, including the goalkeeper, Tally Hall. So you have to be very careful on these set pieces. San Jose, on the other hand, is a team that you have to deal with on set pieces as well, with Burling in the lineup tonight, replacing the injured Iko Parra, foot injury in practice on Thursday. Don't know the extent yet, although the first x-rays were negative. But it's the same left foot that he injured here last year that cost him about half the season.
Well, he's just snake bit early in his career.
Well, it's a good thing the Quakes are so deep at central defense. It's their deepest position, no doubt about it. The 4 guys who play in the middle of the back line on this team, all quality MLS players.
Clark sends it to the middle, and a chance for Weaver. It skims right by him and goes across the end line. A goal kick coming.
Colin Clark, who they got last year when they traded Brian Mullen to Colorado, had another serious knee injury, but he is a quality player. He's left-footed all the way. He's playing on the left wing, and I don't know quite why or how Weaver couldn't get there to sell out on that play, but he just missed Cam Weaver.
Head coach, Houston Dynamo, Dominic Kinnear, the former Quakes coach. He was with the Quakes for a couple of seasons.
Northern California native, best pals with the general manager here, John Doyle, coached with Frank Yallop. One of our favorite people, and this is not a position you'll see Dominic Kinnear a lot, sitting down and being quiet. He is a demonstrative fellow on the sidelines. That belies his style. Maybe he's changed.
Maybe he's just trying to huddle to stay warm.
Maybe he's cold.
He might be a little cold. He's got the toque on. It's a windy evening at Buckshaw Stadium. You see the flags rippling. And it's been windy this year. We've had that opener against Real Salt Lake. We had some goal kicks that were coming right back as if they were boomerangs.
Don't you get the feeling that this wet field is going to play into some bizarre event before this game is over? Maybe a scoring play?
Amway has teamed up with the San Jose Earthquakes to bring 150 kids out to tonight's game from Mariano Castro Elementary School. During the week, Stephen Beitashour spoke to students about values of education and living a healthy lifestyle. Thank you, Amway, for your continued commitment to the Bay Area community. Good job by Ampai Patakwong as he worked hard against Mike Chabala, the Fresno native, and was able to take the ball from him.
We saw Stephen Beitashour playing at the right fullback spot here. You know a thing or two about twin girls, right?
Oh, yeah.
Chris Leach has a couple of twin girls now, Caroline and Elizabeth. We won't get any sleep for about 18 years.
Well, from experience, congratulations, but more importantly, good luck. That's a little bit of work. Brad Ring for Ramiro Corrales, and now Cronin used the left foot that time, did not strike it well, and it goes wide. San Jose has been unable to really get a good build-up offensively early moments of this match.
Sam Cronin must have thought he was in a much better position than he ended up, and I don't know if his foot slipped or it didn't really look like it. It just was not a particularly good effort.
Frank Yallop, Quakes head coach. And again, I think if you ask them last week, they would have liked to have come away with the 3 points. They thought they had it.
You know, they were happy to get out of there in a 2-2 game in Chicago. They had a lead, a 1-0 lead, had a 2-1 lead. Corey Gibbs scored a very nice goal late in the game, but this team has got to stop giving up goals late in games. Given up half a dozen of them in the last 15 minutes of games, and it happened to them again the other night. But he's all about playing well, playing the kind of soccer this team wants to play. He feels like in the long haul, a 34-game season, if they play the way they're supposed to, the results will come out the way they're supposed to.
Well, they've been having better results over the last 4. You go back and really their last loss was in the month of April, April 30th. 1-0 in Philadelphia. Quakes going into the win. That time Lenhart knocked down from behind.
He's a victim sometimes of his own physical play. He really is, Lenhart, and that happens to target players a lot. Is that they dish it out and they take it, and Boswell gets a lot of him right there. Just a little shot in the back of the head. How Alex Proust doesn't see that, I'm not sure, because he's looking right at him. Well, came from behind. Boswell was smart. But the assistant referees can see things like that too.
Cruz with nifty footwork against Corrales. Tried to play into the middle.
But Jim, if you come into a game against the Houston Dynamo and don't expect them to be physical, then you just aren't paying attention. This is a very physical, rugged team. That's the way Dominic Kinnear teaches it, and that's the way they play.
Beitashour, Ampai Patakwong had Beitashour on an overlap, but well played defensively by the Dynamo. Burling, who got the nod in place of Ike Opara. Remember the Quakes without Ryan Johnson, without Chris Wondolowski in this match. Now ahead for Lenhart. He works against Boswell. Help defensively from behind, ball knocked loose.
Doesn't matter what league you're playing in, you got to get rid of the ball sooner than that. You have to anticipate the people around you, and the defender came up from behind and knocked him off. He had to get rid of that ball much quicker. That play was developing.
And now the Quakes. Ampai Patakwong. He was dangerous from this spot against Chicago. Sends one to the middle, and the Quakes are in a corner.
As soon as Ampai Patakwong gets a little bit more confidence, and he has a lot of confidence, he could shoot that ball. He had an opportunity to shoot right there and make Tally Hall beat him. But gets a corner out of it.
And he was dangerous with a corner against Chicago. Sent a nifty delivery, and Ramiro Corrales with the finish. There are some big targets, including Burling, Lenhart, Stevenson.
Corrales.
Burling went up to get it, and Cruz able to send it back for the Dynamo.